We are streaming live. When the channel goes live as well, there we go. So, hello everyone, and welcome to Adventure on So Many Levels. We're going to play once more Into the Void. Hey. I'm Christiana Ellis. When we play Root, I am the game master. On Tuesdays we run D&D and I'm the dungeon master, but tonight we're playing a game where I guess I'm going to be the captain, although don't have to be. We're going to talk about that. So let's just briefly introduce everybody though. So I'm Christiana Ellis, um, and we also have Nobilis,
Hello.
David Archambault,
Hello.
and Lee Burdett.
Hi.
We sometimes have others here, but this is our crew for tonight. So we are going to play tonight a game called Once More Into the Void. It is a Sword Queen game by Jamila R. Nejati, as you can see from the cover here if you're watching us on video. Um, this is a game that, per the author, was initially inspired by the TV show Star Trek Picard, but also then, as it started to develop, dramatically influenced by games like Mass Effect and other sci-fi games where you have the crew of a spaceship that has gotten scattered and has to be you have a captain who has to get everybody back together for one last suicide mission. And so this is not a crunchy tactical combat game. It's a game all about the sorts of relationships and storytelling that goes into that kind of story. And so uh, we're going to jump right into it in a moment. But uh, does has anyone else has everyone played like one of the Mass Effect games, or what's your experience with these types of stories?
I've I played Mass Effect 2
Who's it?
up to like second to last mission before the suicide mission. So
Okay.
I think
So how come you stopped there? I mean, not that it's not wrong. I'm just asking.
uh just didn't pick up the game after that
Okay.
again.
All right. Well, so in some respects, we have everyone kind of learning the emotional language there. But I think Nobilis, you were
Mass Effect's one of my favorite
yeah.
games.
I've also played all of the Mass Effect games and all of the Dragon Age games, and seen Star Trek Picard, and found families and getting the gang back together is one of my all-time favorite tropes, whether it's in sci-fi or something else. But um, I think that we're going to have a good time tonight. So let's talk.
Mhm.
Let's open this PDF and look at what's going on here. So we got our opening here. The galaxy is in peril. Will we come together or fall apart? We were once the heroes of this galaxy. We stood against the tide of darkness and prevailed again and again. We were comrades. We were family. But our family fell apart. Our shared past is full of shame, trespasses, and secrets. We parted ways, vowing to never see each other again. And now our greatest enemy has returned. Manipulating from the shadows, they grow stronger than ever. No one else believes the threat is real. Only the captain has a chance at defeating this enemy once and for all. The captain will have to bring the crew back together again, but will they go with them into the void once more? Can the crew trust the captain again, who left disappointment and heartbreak in their wake? So, we'll talk about the mechanics a little bit in a moment, but one thing that we want to cover too here is we want to talk a little bit about safety mechanics in particular, because this game is not going to have anything in it that we don't want to have in it, but one of the tropes in these sorts of games and these sorts of stories is frequently relationships between the various members of this crew, right? And so, for example, in the Mass Effect games, the romance options are always in there. Now, that doesn't mean that we have to have any of our characters romantically interested in any of the others, but as we play several of the available games, we're going to see that many of the selected options have hints in those directions. And so it is always something that is kind of, it's on the table if we want to take it that way, but we don't have to. And if anyone would just rather not have their character go that direction, it's 100% okay. It's just making it clear that that is sometimes a trope of these types of stories, and those options are kind of available here. If we ever have any of any scenes of that nature, as the book suggests here in the consent section, it is recommended to fade to black as needed and keep things PG-13. And so that said, we're always going to have consent required for any other scenes of that nature. One other element related to that is another one of the tropes of these types of stories sometimes can be betrayal. One of the options in this game is that one of the things that can happen is one of the characters chooses to betray the captain and the rest of the party in a way that leads to their character leaving the game. It's different than the player leaving the game, but the character. Now, but that obviously is emotionally fraught, especially if we're all invested. And so that is another game where, unless all of us are feeling like, yes, I definitely want to explore that, we can just take that game off the table. Is that that was kind of my guess, is that how people would feel, but I just wanted to put it out there to ask the question.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine with me as well. So, on that basis, we're all of the standard safety tools that we talk about are certainly in play, available. So, like if anything ever, if you want to say X or anything like that, if anything's happening that you don't like, because this game involves a lot of just improvisational role play and world building collaboratively in the moment, because we discover our character's history and their future as we play. And so sometimes if someone brings up a suggestion, just because they said it out loud doesn't mean it has to be what happens moving forward. We can talk about it if anything makes someone uncomfortable in a way that's not fun. All right, so let's talk a little bit, with all of that in perspective, let's talk a little bit about how this game works. For, as suggested, one of us has to play the captain. And it seems to have been collectively decided before we even started the stream that I will be the captain. I certainly accept this responsibility. I will have it said that I did not demand it, but I am more than willing to step up to the plate, so to speak.
We trust your leadership.
Well, do you though? See, that's the thing. Maybe you as players trust my leadership as captain of the game, but in the story, do your characters trust my captain? Well, we'll see. Maybe not. That's kind of part of what we'll find out, right? But so there are a number of other archetypes to work with, including the captain, the veteran, the reformed, the believer, the broken, and the strange. And so each of the three of you will pick one of those that is just kind of defines the archetype of your character and informs some of what their background is and their relationship to the captain and the rest of the crew and so on. Excuse me. And then once we have all picked our characters and described them a little bit, we will start playing the games. And so each of us will go around choosing one of these available mini games. And then once we have all gone around and each picked two of them, we will have accumulated a number of tokens, and then we will take those tokens with us into the final game, once more into the void, the final mission. So that is the basic high-level stuff, and the rest of it comes up as we go. So,
And
Go ahead.
the recruitment montage is one game that's always going to be played, right?
Yes, correct. So
Okay.
we always play that one because it involves everybody, and that's the literally getting the crew back together, montage, so to speak. So we'll always play that one, and then we go around each picking two. So you're right. Okay, so any other questions at that level, or should we start getting into the details here?
Let's play.
All right,
Let's
great.
go.
So I am the captain, as we've said. You know, we're not going to read all of this text for everybody, but one of the keys for the whole structure of the game is that you can't do it alone. You need to convince your crew to come together one last time. They have every right to hate you and no reason to trust you. You weren't there for them when they needed you most. So, for example, the game does not tell us what happened. The details. We're going to have to develop that as we go, as it seems necessary. But it's important, it's intended to just strike the initial opening tone, right? Like the emotional flavor going in. But so, first of all, we have, choose two qualities from this list and then ask the person on your left to choose a third. And so in this context, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go clockwise around our little foursome here where when it says the person on my left, that'll be Nobilis, person on Nobilis's left will be David, and then the person on David's left will be Lee, and so forth. Does that make sense?
Okay. As if we were facing into the center of the square.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I think that's just that seems simple enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I think looking at this list of qualities, I think that I'm going to choose stubborn. That seems like a good quality for this archetype. And let's see, stubborn and inspiring is what I will choose. But now, Nobilis, you should choose a third one from that list for my captain.
Fiery.
Fiery. Okay, great. I thought I had a pen ready, and I apparently don't. I'll have to do it electronically. Okay, so I am Captain. Captain, and I'm typing here. It's not on screen. If people shouldn't be looking for it, but stubborn, inspiring, fiery, and then give yourself a name that commands power and respect. Choose your pronouns. Give yourself a last name if you like. I think the primary, archetype of like the inspiration for this game is, for example, Shepard from Mass Effect. And so, looking into this this kind of idea, I think just a last name seems fitting. I'm Captain.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Shepard is so evocative, right? So, let's see. It could be. You know what? Gosh, I'm stuck. Let's see. How about
Can
this?
I?
Oh, go ahead. If you have a suggestion.
Just because we added the fiery thing.
Sure.
How about Daedalus?
Daedalus. Ooh. There you go. Yeah, I like it. So I'll be Captain Daedalus, who is stubborn, inspiring, and fiery. Pronouns she, her. And then choose two aspects of your look and ask the person on your right to choose a third. So let's see. Looking at this, I'm going to have a charming smile. And let's see. Black gloves that hide secrets. And so the person on my right would be Lee. So please choose a third detail about Captain Daedalus?
An old uniform made to look new again.
Uh-huh. Form made to look new again. What do you think that uniform looks like?
I think like a deep navy blue with the captain's bars on the epaulets and a little bit of like a little bit of brass in fruit salad.
Okay. Highly decorated then, huh?
Yeah,
So, I mean, I'm not only famous, but like officially recognized
yeah,
by the chain of command.
But the uniform is out of date by modern.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
you're wearing a Star Trek 1 uniform to a Star Trek 2
Like showing up on Next Generation with that old the maroon jacket with the shoulder pads and
Yes, exactly.
mhm,
Exactly.
that's good.
yeah.
Okay, so let's proceed then to our left, so to speak. Nobilis, have you chosen an archetype?
Yeah, I've decided what I want.
What would you like?
It was a hard job. I'm going to take the strange.
Okay.
Ooh.
You've tried leaving behind the people, the friendships, all of it. The captain tried to convince you that you were as real as the rest, but you knew you were too different, too other, to ever be at home here.
Right.
Um,
And so the image here shows like perhaps like a robot or a synthetic person, but it could also be just an alien. So one thing that I should mention that the book actually does mention is that we can all be like aliens. So like in Mass
Right.
Effect, for example, or Star Trek or any of those shows, it's not all humans. And so
well,
just
I've got
being
a concept that's pretty strange.
sure. So but I just mean that I think aliens are ordinary, but you could have an alien who is strange.
Um, my character is, well, okay. We've got the brain of a dead member of the previous crew
Ooh.
who is kept alive inside a biological artifact that was discovered at some point that is a kind of a gooey, slimy, tentacular thing that is holding on to and hold to kind of hold a body together and to protect itself. A set of robot parts and other bits of machinery and circuitry and things that approximate a human shape, but it's held together with this alien goo. And between the cybernetic parts and the brain and the alien, there's an identity there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely it's it's part Frankenstein, part weird alien, part undead.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Okay.
uh
Fine.
yeah, so the strangest thing I could think of.
Okay, so then you
So
should choose two qualities, uh,
yeah.
and then David will choose a third for you.
Well, I definitely want bizarre. I was going for that as much as I could.
Mm-hmm.
Um and yeah, terrifying.
Mm.
Okay, well, I think a great companion to terrifying is mesmerizing.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Okay.
Like, the goo, like it might have patterns of movement within
Yeah.
it that just like, wow.
Well, it actually like what leapt to mind for me was like vampires that are scary and yet compelling.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
like they're you are afraid, but you do not run away or even look away.
Yep, that's definitely kind of the thing
Yeah.
I was going for. Thank
That's fun.
you. A name. You suggest the alien and miracles. Um, going on with the with the mythological theme. I'm going to say Prometheus. Um, not just in the sense of the original Greek myth, but also the subtitle for Frankenstein was A Modern Prometheus.
Modern Prometheus. There you go. Nice. Is it a code name, or was it your person's name before? It was a chosen name based on the new composite.
It was it's a new name for this assemblage. It's not a relic of the past.
Okay. Nice.
Um,
All right.
and yeah, I'm definitely not the same person as the brain I've got.
Right. So you maybe have their memories, but even that maybe they feel strange to access because you're not quite that person anymore.
Right, right.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so now you choose two aspects
Two
of your look. You
aspects of
kind
my
of
look.
already did some describing. But,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to say that I've already kind of stricken out an organic heart and a synthetic body because that's already
Sure.
there. Only it's a brain. Um, and glowing eyes.
Nice. Okay, and then as the person on your right, let's see. I will. I think that that psychic aura that changes colors is part of what makes you so mesmerizing. Is that there's some aspect of you that seems to extend beyond your physical boundary. That kind of like you, almost like when people are on drugs, it seems like things leave trails. You
Right.
seem to do that.
Okay. Yeah. I'm depending on how this goes, I might need to commission some artists to draw this in. Or maybe not. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, we'll see. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great. So, I think. Just
Sorry if I've made it difficult for the rest.
Oh no.
No.
Like yeah. So so next, David, have you chosen your character?
Yes, I am playing as the believer. You've tried leaving behind the hope, the promises, all of it. You dreamed about serving the captain for years. When your dream was about to come true, it was crushed by powers and forces beyond your control.
All right, great. So, as with the others, you're gonna choose two qualities from that list. They don't have to be on the list, but obviously, those are suggestions, and then Lee can choose a third.
Okay. I'm gonna go with hopeful and awkward.
Okay. All right. So Lee Diaz.
And I am going to add to the image of a puppy and say, no, where was it? Eager.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I'm sorry that the hopeful and awkward, all I get is a picture of a golden retriever retriever puppy sitting at your feet going, yeah, this is awesome.
All right, great. So, do you have a name that suggests brightness and youth?
Christina Oswald.
Say that again.
I'll go ahead and put that into the chat for you to.
Okay. Okay. So say it aloud again. I'll type that first name in, but
Tracina Aswa.
okay. So what is Tracina's look?
Uh, bright colored hair and uh, steaming habits that help you focus.
Okay. And then, so that would be Nobilis to choose a third.
Yeah. Um, a dark look no one else sees.
Mm. Okay, let me get that on the board here.
And we'll go with she, her pronouns.
Okay. Think I spelled that right. Okay.
Yep.
Great. Okay, last but not least, Lee, what have you chosen?
I'm going for the reformed.
Okay, nice. So the idea of the reformed here is, like the former bad guy that was previously recruited to a cause, but maybe still people don't quite trust you.
Yep. I don't know why.
Oh, well, we don't know why either. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, not yet. We'll find out.
Mhm. Okay, so once again, you need to choose two of those qualities from that list. And then as the person on your left, I will choose the third, and so on and so forth.
Okay. I am going to go with pragmatic.
Okay, pragmatic.
And oh god, I can't even pick one. They're all so good. Guilty.
Okay,
Yeah, that makes sense.
pragmatic and guilty. And then I will add capable. You know, when you try to do something, you get it done. So it's not ever a question of skill, but just choices. All right. I'm definitely dealing with some slowdown on my computer for some reason. Let's see if I can't improve that a little bit. But okay, so with those three traits or qualities, now we need a name.
Let's go with Sijin.
Sijin.
Spelled S-Y-G-N.
Okay. S-Y? Okay.
S-Y-G-N.
Let's see if my XSplit won't mess up on me here. Oh no, it seems like it's stuck again. It's definitely been running a little bit wonky. And in the past, when I've been trying to add these text labels, yeah, okay. I definitely think I need to reinstall my XSplit at some point. But okay, so I think, unfortunately, we may have to, once again, briefly interrupt the stream just for a moment so that I can restart my software, and then we will resume. So I think actually, let's maybe, if we can, we'll just go ahead and finish the moment here with our making the choices, and then we'll do a quick recap of our characters when we resume on the other side. Does that make sense?
Good.
Okay, so Sijin, Sygin, is that what you said?
S-Y-G-N. Let's just make it
SYTM.
easy.
Okay, sure, sure. Okay, she, her pronouns or?
Yep, she, her pronouns.
All right, so now choose two aspects of your look, and then the person on your right, which will be David in this case, will choose a third.
Okay, a scar that commands attention. And mismatching eyes.
Where's that scar?
Right across the face.
Is it the classic like the cheek thing, or no? It's like
Like straight, like from like the right temple down to the left, like the end of her jaw. So straight over the nose and all the way down.
certainly would command attention. So are the mismatching eyes related to that at all?
I
Or
guess
were
we'll
they
see.
always mismatched? Oh,
I guess we'll see.
We don't know. Okay. All right.
I haven't made up my mind about that.
Sure. Okay, so David, do you have a third aspect for Sijin?
I like the idea of a musical voice.
Musical voice. All right, great. Okay, so now that we've all selected our characters, I'm going to reset my stream a little bit, and we should be right back. So if you're watching, we should be back momentarily. So please stick with us, and we'll be right back. And then, of course, if you are listening to this in the audio podcast, you will never know that anything happened.
We're gonna edit this in post.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Literally have to like task manager force quit XSplit. That's how bad it is.